All right, guys. Today we're going to be discussing Marxism a little bit more. This will be probably like part two of Intro to Marxism. We're going to understand just a brief intro to Karl Marx and why Marxism is so important for us today. Here we go. These are PowerPoints that are coming from the Morris Family Center for Law and Liberty at HBU. They gave a talk or all-day conference actually on Marxism, which is very nice, and they were generous enough to grant me some PowerPoints. So throughout this, the next few presentations on my computer, I'll be using PowerPoint from them. So particularly later on, we'll be getting into the world of Karl Marx, comparing Locke and Marx, and then seeing the Cold War, and then the dream of Karl Marx and the USSR, Lenin and Stalin. Now, why Karl Marx? Well, three big issues: pop culture, economics, and what Marx discovered. Pop culture is important because we recognize that in our world today. So why Karl Marx? Because we see the hammer and sickle in a lot of different places, on countries' flags, or on brand names or airlines or whatever it may be. We also might be watching Stranger Things, and in Stranger Things, we see Soviet influences. In fact, it's a Soviet invasion in Nevada. So even in Hollywood, which I would argue the most pervasive worldview or ideology behind Hollywood TV shows and movies is Marxism, secular Marxism. And so being aware of Marxism is really important for recognizing those things. We also have a lot of end of the world scenarios in our day today. We're in the middle of one right now, the coronavirus outbreak, pandemic, and so if we recognize that Marxism has a totalitarian view, an expansionistic pandemic approach to the world, we'll recognize that it's necessary to understand it. And finally, pop culture wise, we see Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren as representing America versus Russia or the Soviet Union in the great boxing movie Rocky. So for the economic side of it, this is a helpful little spectrum to see the difference between pure competition and communism, or a planned central economy versus a pure market economy. And that's where you're going to see the United States and Japan leaning more toward the right versus North Korea to the left there. And they're obviously not perfect capitalistic or perfect communistic, but they certainly lean that way, and you see how socialist leaning versus capitalist leaning. That's the importance. This is the importance of Marxist ideology, is you get full-on economic systems coming out of it. And furthermore, you actually get whole countries that are communistic today. And so if you go to victimsofcommunism.org, you'll see all the different communist countries and the fruit of them today through witnesses and whatnot. So see the communist countries by population, see how big they are and their influence. Finally, I want to talk about what Marx discovered. Particularly, this is coming from Engels' speech at the graveside of Karl Marx on March 17, 1883. He proposed that Karl Marx discovered two laws, and this is really important. So just like, say, Isaac Newton discovered the law of gravity, or other scientists have discovered various laws, or whatever it is, Engels is arguing that Karl Marx discovered the law of development of human history and the special law of motion governing the present day capitalist mode of production. Those two laws he spells out in the speech at graveside of Karl Marx, which you have in your packet. So go read it, or on Marxist.org you can see it. That's all I have today for you concerning just a quick, brief understanding and intro of Karl Marx. Thank you.